Hey everyone. So if you've been following the startup world, you've probably heard all these weird terms being thrown around. Unicorns, zebras, decacorns. I mean, it can sound like you're listening to a report from a zoo that's having a sale on mythical creatures. Today, we're going to cut through all that noise and figure out what it all means. So let's get into it.
Right? It's a totally fair question. What on earth do animals and cornfields have to do with building a company? Well, this vocabulary, it's more than just catchy slang. It's basically a secret code. And once you crack it, you can instantly get a read on a company's entire game plan, its strategy, its values, its ambition. So our first stop is the startup zoo.
All right, so here we are, inside the zoo. And look, these animals we're about to see, they're not just fun names. They actually represent completely different philosophies about how you should build a business. Each one has a totally unique take on growth, risk, and, what success even looks like in the first place.
Let's kick things off with the most famous one of them all, the unicorn. Eileen Lee came up with this term because, back in 2013, a private startup hitting $1 billion valuation was it was mythically rare. The whole unicorn model is all about venture capital. The goal is just insane, explosive growth to dominate a market, and that often means burning through a ton of cash to get there fast. It's a huge, high-stakes bet on becoming the next industry giant.
But that's just it. This complete obsession with mythical, breakneck growth, it actually started a bit of a rebellion. Founders began to ask, hang on, is there a better way, a more, sustainable way to build a company?
In that rebellion, it gave us the zebra. You can think of the zebra as the total opposite of the unicorn. Instead of chasing some crazy valuation, zebras are all about building a real, profitable, and sustainable business that actually does some good in the world. It's about finding balance, not just blitzscaling, which is just a fancy term for spending mountains of cash to grow as fast as humanly possible, no matter the cost.
But not every sustainable company is all about social good. Some are just plain tough survivors, like the rhino. This term comes from venture capitalist Dave McClure, and the rhino is all about being pragmatic. It's thick-skinned, it's resilient, and it just charges head-on into whatever the market throws at it. This is a company that's truly built to last, not just to look flashy.
And for the absolute toughest environments, for those dry startup deserts, that's where you'll find the camel. Investor Jason Calacanis uses this term for companies that are basically built for survival mode. Camels are masters of efficiency. They can go for a really long time with very few resources, proving that in a tough economy, it's not always the fastest who wins the race, but the most resilient.
So you can see this really clear split in strategy, right? On one side, you've got the unicorn. It's a high-risk, high-reward moonshot that's trying to completely transform a market. And on the other side, you have the realists, the zebras, rhinos, and camels. And they are all focused on building tough, profitable companies that are grounded in, reality.
Now that $1 billion number for the unicorn, it's the perfect bridge to the second part of our discussion. We're going to shift gears from business philosophy to pure financial scale. This brings us to the next leg of our journey, climbing the valuation ladder to see just how massive these companies can really get.
See, once a company gets on that unicorn track, its valuation can just keep on climbing this wild ladder. We're going to start with the up-and-coming minicorns and go all the way up to a level of value that's, honestly, it's hard to even wrap your head around. And every step up this ladder isn't just a step, it's a massive leap.
Okay, so at the very bottom of the ladder, you've got your minicorns. Now, these are not just ideas in a garage anymore. These companies are already valued at over $1 million. They've proven their business model works, and they are definitely on the radar.
Go a little further up and you'll find the Soonicorns. The name kind of gives it away, right? These are the companies that investors are watching like hawks, betting that they're going to cross that billion-dollar line very, very soon.
And then, boom, they hit it. Unicorn status. A private company worth over $1 billion. For an entire generation of startups and investors, this is the milestone. It's the ultimate symbol of massive success.
But hey, why stop at $1 billion? A truly elite company that manages to cross the $10 billion mark becomes a decacorn. To give you some perspective, Facebook was the first company to hit this milestone back in 2007, and that was years before it went public and had to deal with all the pressure of the stock market.
$10 billion. Just let that sink in for a second. That's the price of admission to a very, very exclusive club.
So where are all these elite companies? Well, right now there are about 47 of them in the entire world. And as you can see here, the vast majority, 28 of them, are right in the United States, with China coming in a distant second. This really shows you where the whole ecosystem that supports this kind of insane growth is the strongest.
So what is at the very, very top of the ladder? The absolute rarest creature of them all, the hectocorn. Hecto is the prefix for 100. We're talking about a private company that has hit a mind-bending valuation of over $100 billion.
$100 billion. It's a valuation so ridiculously big, it puts a company in a league that's entirely its own.
The membership in this club? It is unbelievably exclusive. As of right now, there are only 3 privately held companies in the whole world that have made it to hectocorn status. You've got the aerospace manufacturer SpaceX, TikTok's parent company ByteDance, and the fast fashion giant Xi'an. That's it.
Okay, so we've toured the startup zoo, we've climbed the valuation ladder, and you might be sitting there thinking, why do any of these labels actually matter? Well, they matter because they give all of us a shared language, a vocabulary for innovation.
This quote really nails it. These aren't like strict scientific classifications. But these terms, unicorn, zebra, decacorn, they're kind of shorthand. They give entrepreneurs, investors, and really all of us a way to quickly understand the different strategies and goals that are driving the business world forward.
Which really leaves us with one last question to think about. Now that you know the difference between chasing that mythical, explosive growth and building slow, sustainable value, which path makes more sense? It's really a question of ambition versus sustainability. Definitely something to chew on. That's all for now.